Hello and welcome to round 5 of the Sunday Night Championship highlights from Catalonia in Spain. With me this week we have Ben and the returning Rob McCracken. Welcome, lads.
Hello.
McCracken has returned from his holiday.
Yeah, he's recovered from his illness he had in China. So this race was the first one in Europe this season. Could be the start of a turnaround for some drivers, or building the foundations for a better season. And we have, I believe, got a driver change as well in the Force India team. I believe Ben has left and now is joining McLaren.
Yeah, we've heard that there's a bit of a fallout with Seeks, and Seek became available at McLaren. Amari got off to sports car racing with McLaren. So they've drafted in an old driver, and Ben looks happier in his new team away from Seeks, to be honest.
Yes.
Who's tricky?
So, qualifying. Off we go.
Yeah, so on pole, we've got Dean in the Mercedes, 121.3 even. Indrek second in the Red Bull, beating his teammate Gaza, who's third. Fourth for Pren, that's another improvement for him. Fifth, very good effort for Michael and the other Williams, so it's like 2 Red Bulls, 2 Williams. Then Rob up in 6th in the Ferrari, Rob getting faster as the season's going on. Seeks in 7th, the lone Force India this week. 8th for Lance in the first of the Mauritius. 9th for Baldy in the first of the McLarens. 10th for Red Pill, which is Gavin and the other Mauritia. 11th and disappointing for Adam in the Toro Rosso. And just on the back of the grid and just making the race in time, we believe it's Ben in the McLaren.
Yeah, it's a shame Ben couldn't turn up on time for his first day at the office, or first weekend at the office. But we'll see what he's got in the locker. I'm sure he's full of
PR events you have to do for McLaren are taking their toll, and he's just about going to make the race.
Yeah, I'm sure he's full of confidence going into the race. So, Rob, what's the strategy looking like this weekend?
It's looking like a 2-stopper all round.
Good to know.
There's no ifs or buts. It's that or nothing. That's what the computer readouts have been saying so far.
Okay, that's good to know. What about if there's a chance of a safety car? What's that like? Is it likely or?
Very low, looking a 10% chance with good weather.
This does sound like a weather forecast, I've got to be honest.
Yeah, well, it's pretty low chance.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the Red Bull garage with Indrek getting ready to take to the grid. Indrek starting well this weekend on the front row, just behind Mercedes of Gunnar Gamble. So Dean in first on the options, as well as Indrek, who's in second. His teammate also qualifying well in third. Pren in fourth. His teammate Michael in fifth. Shaky car there. Rob in sixth. Seeks in seventh. Baldy in ninth. Often going for the other option of the primes as he is this weekend, and Ben back in 12th. So it'll be interesting to see what Baldy does on the primes to start with. But we are on board with Rob at the start of the Grand Prix as the lights come up, and away they go out very quickly this weekend. But Rob gets off to a pretty poor start, but considering he had 3 pad drivers around him, it's not a surprise as Seeks comes storming through, and it looks like Red Pill just on the inside, and a bit of contact there by Seeks and Pren. Seeks forces his way through. Red Pill still on the inside of Rob. Rob getting forced out wide. Will he hold it on the track? No, he's off the track. That's going to lose him with quite a bit of time and quite a few places, and he's down to 10th already. And now we've got the 2 drivers who we expect to see recover well up the grid. So Solid and Ben. Rob, poor mistake there, putting him all the way back down to 11th. Tries to hang it round the outside of Ben, but can't quite make it. Adam still behind him, but on board with Ben now, with his teammate Baldy in front of him. Interesting line across the gravel there, as we come into the fast right-hander. And will Boldy put up much of a fight being on the primes? Looks like it actually, yes, he is putting up a bit of a fight. Boldy breaks late down the inside of Lance. Can he make it stick? Don't know. As Rob comes out the hairpin, and Adam goes round the outside nicely. And now we're on board with Indrek, who's just taken or defending from Michael. I think Michael tried an audacious move around the outside. He's got the inside line for the final corner and comes through nicely. Now Seeks in behind. Looks like he's got a good exit out of the final corner as well. In the slipstream, pulls out. Should be an easy move down to turn 1. Although he's going to have to beat him on the brakes. Will he do it? Yes, he does. Indrek tries to hold it round the outside, but no can do. And Indrek's falling like a stone on the first lap, as he often has done a few times this season.
I think Indrek set a new record for how fast he can drop to the back of the grid, and I think he's doing a real successful job here now. He's got Pren all over the back of him as well.
Yeah, I also think Rob's had a good effort there as well, getting as far back as possible. But Pren all over the back, still trying to get the cut back on the exit maybe. Indrek not really defending too hard, which is surprising. Red Pill now right on the back as well. Indrek really does struggle in his opening laps for whatever reason. As we come to a replay of the start with Pren.
Yeah, Pren getting a fair launch then, nothing too exciting, but here comes the charge of the Pad Brigade. There goes Michael, he's flying, and I think even further back you saw Gab flying up past Rob at the start on the live feed. And a bit of contact here, remember, with Seeks charging back through. We've got Rob behind us now, and in the mirror you'll see him run wide. We've got Gavin up the inside, but he's dropped back. And Pren just getting a look around the back of Seeks. Can he get down the inside into turn 4, I think it is? He's using a bit of grass to try and do it, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to pull that one off. But he's lost the back end, and Seeks is through.
Yeah, right. Gavin also having a little look. Can't quite get through though. And Pren holds on to 6th. Now Indrek, often not the quickest off the line, but holds his own alright there until the second phase and kind of bogs down a bit. Maybe changed up a gear too quickly as his teammate goes through. Actually had to look round the outside of Dean, but not close enough. Although it is a long straight, it's not that long. not long enough for Gaz.
Yeah, got a bit of information on the Red Bulls actually. Gaz is running quite a thin rear wing, and we know, well, having spoken to Gaz, he said that his teammate Indrek's running a hell of a lot of rear wing, so expect Indrek to be slow down the straight, so maybe that's why he's losing ground. He's on board with Ben at the start, started dead last, only just making the race, and very cautious into turn 1, expecting trouble possibly. And to be fair, everyone drove very sensibly in his first few corners. I know there's chaos here last season. And Adam and Ben just holding back, showing a bit of experience maybe. And Ben up the inside of Adam now, and Rob, remember, went wide, so they're both trying to get down the inside. That won't work. But Ben making the position on Adam and Rob into 10th place. Yeah,
2 positions in 1 corner there, as this is on board with Ben getting past Boldy, I assume. Lance a bit all over the grass there, but Boldy's trying to hang it around the outside. Not giving any room to his new teammate, trying to put his foot down on that number 1 seat. But Ben gets through.
It's like a bit of a block pass there, and Ben's through, and now past Lance as well. So this is a storming start by the new McLaren driver. We're seeing on board there, so he's just blocking off Steve, and Steve just holding on with Adam. Adam's stuck the inside to give each other racing room. Rob's thinking, I can get both of these, this will be fun. And Boldy just struggling a little bit with his primes. Now there's contact, massive contact. Yeah,
and Rob just about had the right line to go through the middle. But we're back to live action now with Seeks and Michael, the 2 leading pad drivers at the moment. Bit out of shape, both of them coming through that final chicane. Seeks going to be in the slipstream. Will he be able to make the move and move up to P3? Goes to the inside. Michael not really defending too much. And Seeks does come through to 3rd. Nice move. Well done on the brakes. But will Michael come back now? He's going to have a little look, is it? Yeah, he's having half a look. Not really too much though.
Yeah, that's pretty close. He was round the back of Seeks there as well, and up front. Dean's in the lead and setting a furious pace. 123.5, I believe it was something around that. But yeah, really storming away at the start.
Yeah, it would be tough to catch Dean this weekend. Does quite well generally around this corner, around this track. Six takes a lot of curb there, going through the right-hander.
There's a lot of curb and a lot of AstroTurf, if you ask me, but okay, that's the line, go with it.
Oh, he's run deep though, and Michael's going to be down the inside. Six gives him room. Round the outside, Six on the grass, and Michael pulls off a pretty stunning move there, but back on board with Rob now, and Lance gets the back end out of shape over that little bump. An easy place for Rob. But Six is going to have the DRS now. I think it should be in operation this this lap. And yeah, opens it up. Pren just under a second behind, so he might well have DRS as well, but not going to catch up to Six and Michael on this straight. Six down the inside. Michael holding it round the outside. Nicely done. As further back, Red Pill Gavin gets through on Indrak, and Indrak hits the back. Will he lose another place? Yes, he will. Ben's through. Will Rob get there though? How far away is Rob? Is it not close enough? But now on board with Ben, he's picked up quite a few, 5 places in the first 3 and a bit laps, as he now goes purple in the first sector, showing that he has really got a good pace about him this weekend. Clearly settling in well to McLaren.
Yeah, sorry, the move to McLaren seems to really energised his driving. Meanwhile, the evil handling car of the racing award goes to Lance. His just does not look like it's planted on the track at all. He's struggling through the last corner, and we saw he was struggling through the almost penultimate corner sort of thing. So yeah, he's really struggling for grip. Indrek's like a GP2 car down the straight. He's got absolutely no speed. Ben up the inside of Gavin, but I'm not sure he's going to hold that. Gavin on the racing line, and this corner goes right. And I try and do what Pren did and hang it around the outside, but Gavin seems to be a bit further forward than Six was. And Gavin does indeed hold on to the place and runs wide. Ben around the outside trying to hold on to it.
Nicely
pulls
done.
the moves off.
Yeah, nicely done around the outside. Both doing well not to collide with each other.
Gavin now with DRS. He will surely take the place back. And does.
Yeah, Ben on the ultra defensive line, but here's Rob on Indrak coming up like a train.
Here's the speed difference.
Indrak really suffering from that high wind that he's running. But Gavin goes slightly wide, not wide enough to slow him down, but Ben having a look down the inside, having to lock the brakes up not to hit it into the back of him. This battle looks like it could rage on for a few more laps yet, the way this is going.
Yeah, this has got look a bit of war, this battle. But anyway, cutting away to lap 6, and this is still going on. This looks like it could go on a long while as we head into the back straight, and Ben will have DRS out of this corner, no doubt about it. See how it happens down into the bottom corner there.
Yeah, can't quite do anything. Not very often that we see moves into that hairpin with the DRS. But Gavin pulled a little bit of a gap through that little section. Maybe he's got away enough to be safe into turn 1, although the DRS is pretty strong around this circuit. But Ben with a good run through that final chicane is actually closed right back up again. Now open in the DRS. It should be a pretty easy move. Can he do it? Yes, it looks like he can. No, he's run deep. Can Gavin come back? He's got the inside line. Ben's going to have to hold it around the outside. Gavin is back through. And I assume while this is happening, Rob is closing in behind. But on to lap 8 now, and they're still going at it, hammer and tongue. Ben with the DRS down the inside. Will he stick it this time, or will he do a repeat of the last lap? No, nicely done this time. Making 6th place count.
Yeah, I've slowed Ben's charge a little bit. It's taking him 4 or 5 laps to actually get past Gavin, and here we have now. This is the replay, I believe. Showing it again here. Up the inside, and that was the move made.
Yep. Oh, and Rob, early pit stop.
Yeah, there's people in. Indrak's in. On lap 8, his tyres are completely shot. He's back out on some options.
Yeah. So Indrak's joined the race in last place again behind Baldy, who's clearly struggling on his primes. Nice move down the inside by Indrek. So Rob, why do you think he pitted so early?
His tyres were worn. Oh, someone, be quiet, leave me alone. Rob's in. He's putting on a set of primes. And he's off. Oh, someone seeks in, same lap, pops some options on, polishes helmet, and off he goes.
Yeah, Six is trudging down the pit lane nice and slow there. Can he come back out ahead of the guys who are around him? I think pitted a couple of laps before he's in fourth. Pren is coming down the straight. Well, it's going to be close, but Six is out ahead of him. Pren just behind. I think Pren made a bit of time on Six there through that pit stop. But on board with Indrek now, he's up to 7th. That early pit stop maybe did help him because he's now back ahead of Ben. He's got Lance ahead of him, who I don't think's pitted yet. Lance is kind of half-heartedly defending, but enough to slow Indrek down. But in the end, Indrek makes a pretty routine pass there and is up to 6th. Now in pursuit of Pren in 5th. But on board with Six as we come up to the fast right-hander, which will lead on to the DRS straight.
Yeah, Six holding on just in front of Pren, but this is another battle that's been going on a long time. And it's a battle, it could be for battle for the last podium place if something happens in front. Pren just following Six through here. There's not really an opportunity to overtake, although he did try that earlier in the race and it worked. But the tyres are all warm now, and it'll be interesting to see what will happen down the DRS straight as Pren closes in. He knows what he's going to do. He's going to close in before this final corner of the DRS line. He's got the DRS. He's a little sideways, but he surely will pass Six down the straight.
Yeah, Six looking behind him in his mirrors, going slightly defensive, and Pren's going to have to go around the outside. Can he do it? Yes, he can. Good move there by Pren. Given enough room by Six and put that Williams straight through the gap. Now, can Six come back? That is the question. Although he's run very deep into that corner and Indrek's closing in behind. But as we move to lap 12, Pren is just ahead still, and Six gets a good run through that final chicane, closing in big time, and will definitely get the DRS. This should be a pretty routine pass, you would have thought, into the DRS, into the final first corner. I'm screwing all my words up at the moment, but Six under braking and takes the place pretty well.
Yeah, Indrek's on his charge as well. He seems to have been a lot more comfortable in this set of options. The start wasn't so good and he was dropping like a stone, but look at the speed he's got now. All over the back of Pren. Pren has pitted, I believe, so this is actually for position that counts. And Indrek with DRS, but the amount of wing he's running, will it actually work for him? Let's see. He's only not putting a lot of speed, but Pren might be able to just about hold on here, but Indrek's going for it, and contact.
Yes, contact into turn 1. Don't know how much that's affected either of the drivers, whether Pren is spun completely or not, but on board with Rob and Gavin, slipstreamed the DRS through to the P8. Rob back to P9, who is on primes. So back on board with Six on lap 16 now. Closed right up on Gaza as you see Indrek's now 5.5 seconds behind. So good turn of speed from Six to get away from the guys behind him and to catch up to reigning champion, who I believe is on primes though. But Six needs to get past if he's going to stand any chance of getting a podium in this race. So he's going to open the DRS. Oh, Gaza kind of half defended, but saw that Six is already there, and Six hugs the inside line, takes the place. And now it's just a matter of how far can he pull away until the pit stops.
Yeah, I think guys have just realised at the last minute that Six was making a move. Now on board Ben on the primes, and he's got Gavin right behind, and Gavin goes for a late move and pulls it off. What a move that was. Just gets it stopped as well for the tight first chicane.
Rob.
That's fallen asleep by the looks of it.
Yeah.
So into the pits comes Indrek and leaves on primes.
Rob, are you here now? No.
He's not.
Six comes in and puts on the primes. It looks like the Williams has come in as well. Yep, Michael is also on the primes, but Six down to 5th now. So that suggests that someone ahead of him. Oh, Rob's through. Rob has come through. That could be costly in Six's charge to get that podium position. How quickly can he get through though? But it's lap 21 now. He's been stuck behind him for quite a few laps as he cuts the corner there a bit. But Rob is now turned into the pits, releasing Six. But the question is, how much damage has that done to Six's charge? As Rob,
he's got his final set of options. Oh, he's put primes on again.
Oh, but here is Indrek, closely passed by. Oh dear, not again. Pren and Indrek, second time this race, making contact at turn 1. But here's Six coming down the pit straight, and we've got Gaza coming out. Gaza will now be on the options, so Six has clearly been hindered by quite a margin by Rob in front of him. So just a matter of time now as Six probably won't be able to hold up Gaza for 10 laps. I know he is renowned for being the train of this grid, but not even Six should be able to hold up Gaza, who's on options, for 10 laps.
Six has got the reputation of the truly train that's been brought forward into Six, and but yeah, I think Gaza's a little bit too fast for that today. I think he'll probably be on options as well, which will make a difference, and he is. And he's not going to get around the outside there though. He'll have to be a bit patient as Six goes on to the AstroTurf a little bit more. And Gaza, can you put an outside move? I'm not sure he can.
No, looking for the cutback, but so it looks like he's going to wait till DRS and make this pass a hell of a lot easier, unless Six runs wide at any point into the chicane, which Six has been pretty quick through this chicane at this race.
Yeah, but he's up against the guy on options, and with bagfuls of grip, so I think it's a matter of time. It's not if, but when, and this could be when.
Yeah, as Six goes defensive early, and Gaz should make the move, stick around the outside into the braking, and yeah, not really too much of a challenge there for Gaz, and he should pull away and start to catch the two leaders, Gunnar Gamble and Michael. So back on board with Ben now, who is challenging Gavin again. This battle seems to have gone on for most of the race.
Yeah, there's quite a different strategy that we can see that Gavin's actually on the primes, Ben's on the options, so they've obviously had different strategies for the race and just met at the end. Ben at the inside and past Gavin, and that's a crucial move if he wants to catch Indrek and possibly Six as well. But Gavin not giving this up, he's down the inside, and there is slight contact, wheel-to-wheel contact there, but no harm, no foul, and they carry on as they were.
Yeah, as we come on to lap 29 now, Ben is caught right up to Indrek. Gavin is now 10 seconds behind Ben, but Ben going to get DRS, and again, Indrek running unusually wide at the last corner, probably not helping his cause, but Ben, again, another routine pass, unless he mucks up under braking. No, spot on the apex there, and making the move up to P5. Now lap 32, penultimate lap, Six is just ahead. Six locks up into turn 1. That's going to allow Ben to close slightly. Ben on option, Six on primes.
Catching up from the Renault bend and then heading towards the Repsol corners. And yeah, he's closing all the time, but will his options last, and will Six's primes come back into their own? This is the question we're going to have.
Yeah, Ben has some fuel to use as well if he needs to use it. Oh, Six getting all out of shape there. Ben right up his rear wing. Can he make a move into the hairpin, the right hand hairpin, the DRS? But even now, Six is struggling big time. Car looks completely out of shape, and tyres are well on their way to the cliff. As
wonder where you were going with that myself, to be honest with you.
I brought it back well.
We're heading to the cliff yourself there, but yeah, this could be interesting. We're about to start the last lap, but now Ben's starting to slide around himself, so Has he got the tyres? He's gone wide. Get all the marbles on the back on his tyres now. Into the chicane, and he's a bit rugged and rattled through there sideways again. And I think he's going to be out of DRS as we move on to the last lap, and 6 crosses line for a deserved P4.
Yep. So the final result is. Go on, Ben.
Yeah, sure. Dean wins the race from lights to flag, and by some margin, 20 seconds in the Mercedes, and that's crucial for the championship for him. In second place, Michael, that's his first podium, I believe, in SNC. A fantastic effort. And for 5th on the grid as well for Williams. 3rd for Gaza, in a lot of battles this race, but came through for 3rd, crucial points. 4th for Seeks, I think that might even be his best finish of the season, or he told off at the start.
No, it is.
From 7th on the grid, so good effort. From the back of the grid, Ben in 5th, that's easily his best result of the season, and is a good effort with the new McLaren. 6th for Indrek, as predicted, he fell back, but a good recovery, to be honest, because he was around about 9th, 10th after the first stint. He was 6th for Red Bull. 7th for Gavin in the Marussia. 8th for Robin. I think he'd be disappointed with that, because he had a lot of pace today in the Ferrari. Pren 9th in the Williams. The last point going to Lance in the Marussia. Just outside the points was Adam, and not finishing was Boldy in McLaren.
So after a interesting race, obviously, we have a strong winner. We have Dean with a dominant win. As we go to the, as we like to thank Ben and Rob again for turning up and doing a good job. As we go to the podium ceremony now for winner, Gonna Gamble.
Yeah, just like the same man of the race was easily Michael, finishing 2nd, and well done to him. Well done to Dean for the victory. Yeah.
So join us next week, guys, where we will be in the famous Monaco. Good night.